YouTube? It's FamilyJewels7X. Holy shit, it's my face again. So today, we're going to be talking about recording the video. Now I know a lot of you might be asking like, oh my god, you're going to make a tutorial on recording a video? Like, come on, you just record the video and you're done, right? Well, alright. I mean, that would be the case if there weren't so many fucking idiots who didn't know how to fucking record a video. But I trust that you guys who are watching this are a little bit more competent than those people. So, number one, I just want to talk about why would you want to record a video? Why would you, you're doing music, why would you want to, put a video or put in the extra time to make a video for it? Well, seeing as YouTube is one of the biggest video sharing and most viewed kind of public artsy things to watch, and a lot of people go on YouTube, it's important to give people something to look at instead of just an image of the game or just, your logo or whatever. I mean, it's, a lot of giving something to the eyes, also, the ears. I mean, you don't want to just have something on YouTube that's just boring and you're just looking at, a picture. You want something that's going to entertain you. And the reason people look up, guitar videos and music videos on YouTube is so that, they can see somebody else playing the thing. Some people like to, learn stuff by ear, and if they get it wrong, they like to try to find somebody else who's played it, and then look at their fingers, and then try to figure it out that way. Which is a great way. Alright, so that's why, I make videos. I don't know, you don't have to, but that's why I do it. So now let's just talk about some of the basics, and then I'll get into some of the peeves of mine that you might want to think about, you might do, but you might, just want to think about. So the first major necessity is like, alright, so what's the first thing you notice? You notice I'm standing here with my guitar, and I've got plenty of room to just move around, you know what I mean? Like I can walk around all over here and stuff like that. And, you always see this. This is the main focus. Fuck your face. It's all about the guitar. It's all about the music. A lot of people don't even like showing their face, but I'm a douche, so. So even if you don't plan on moving around, I mean, a lot of people tend to kind of just, fucking shuffle their way over here, and then all of a sudden, they're not even the center of attention anymore. But we'll get into, like, moving around in a little bit. Make sure your guitar is at a good, level, so that if you're, thinking about going, like, down here, now you can't see my fucking guitar. Make sure it's, like, here, and you're consciously aware of where in the frame you are. Now, a good thing to do is, if you have like a camera that you can see what you're doing on a monitor, definitely use that. But don't just sit there and fucking watch yourself, jamming out like an idiot. Like right now, I can actually see what I'm doing on a computer that's right there. I'd show you, but then I would have to take the camera off and blah blah blah. Now, it's not so much about having a great ass camera. I mean, for like my first 20 videos, I used this. My iPhone. Not a crazy great camera. I mean, it does do HD, but the point of it is you have to know your camera. You have to know what your camera can do. I mean, you can have a camera that has like, 4, billion P, and over 9,000 frames a second, but it can still look like shit if you don't know what you're doing. So, say I was using my iPhone. Now, I can see what I'm doing on my iPhone because I can see it back, but the camera I'm shooting right now, that you're watching, I know that it shoots in 1080, but the frame rate isn't as good. So I shoot in 720. I mean, these are all just things to think about. And I can also see what I'm doing over here. And look at oh my god, I'm so sexy. I mean, judging by the fact that I've probably edited this video, hopefully, you'll notice I'm using some color effects, and I'm using some other stuff. We're going to get into that next week, which is going to be the final video, the final tutorial on how to edit your videos. Now, one of the most crucial elements is having good lighting. Now, my ceiling light is shit. It emits like this piss-colored yellow-orange shit, and I hate it. So, number one tip would be to record during the day and have, a lot of natural light coming in. Because natural light is pretty much the best light you can get, even if it's just through a window. The other thing is make sure you have good lighting. Like, I don't have those fucking umbrella shits, but I do have just a lamp. I use this thing. This is like this is like a natural light you get at like, I don't know, like Walmart or something. I can't even remember where I got it. But yeah, like, if this light isn't going over there, like, look how dark I look, you know what I mean? So make sure you got some good lighting going. But yeah, I mean, this is a powerful fucking light. But yeah, and all I do is I just sit this down in front of a chair, right in front of me. And look at me, I'm all lit up and ready to fucking rock your shit. Also, right now I have my guitar plugged in like this. I should not do that. I should have it, you know, tied up through my strap like this. And when you're jumping around like an idiot, and you got your strap kind of tugging it like that, you have a less of a chance of the thing coming out. And if you've got a good track going and that shit pops out, that is the most frustrating thing because you got to go back and record the whole fucking thing again. Also be aware, the camera angle that I just, you know, I've decided to do this with, you know, I look pretty short. Now a lot of you guys ask if I'm a short guy. I'm actually not really that short. I'm like 5'11", I'm like average height. But because of how your camera is angled, it might look strange. Also because of these, like, walls. So be conscious of your environment and be conscious of the camera angle you're doing. Now this is all assuming that you want to have your face in the picture. And I mean, that's cool if you don't. I mean, you know, for a while I was actually contemplating whether or not I wanted to do that. But I think it's more personable, honestly. But remember, even if you want to have your face in it, make sure the guitar is the center of attention. Don't worry about, like, that should be #1. Now, at this angle, at this focus, if I were to put my finger on any of these frets, you would be able to tell which fret I was on. You know, I'm on the 5th fret. You can see that because, you know, I've got a, you know, good enough camera and everything, and the frame rate is good enough so that you can see me moving around, too. You know, you don't want to use, like, a webcam with, like, 4 frames a second, but you do want, you know, a little bit, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a lot. Now, when recording, this is actually borderline a peeve, but borderline kind of a necessity. When you're recording, you really want to have different camera angles. Otherwise, because if I'm just standing here, and then I cut to a thing of me playing bass, it's just gonna look like, you know, I'm magically, like, you know, making different guitars appear. And it does look choppy and it does look really awkward. So, you know, like right here, I'm gonna do, you know, electric guitars, you know what I mean? I'll just say I'll do rhythm guitar standing up right here. Then I'm gonna take the camera and I'm gonna switch it, go to a different angle in my room to play the bass part. Now when that changes, it won't look as awkward. And that's the point, you want a clear transition between, okay, this is definitely the rhythm guitars and that's the bass, there can't be any, you know, whatever. Because a lot of people don't even know what the difference between rhythm guitar and bass is. Now take all of these things into consideration. I mean, you know, the most important part of a YouTube video is the first, like, 2.5 seconds. If somebody looks at a video and sees that it's, like, shitty, they're gonna go and watch something else. You know, try to be a perfectionist, try to be professional about this, even though you're not making any money, or you might be, but I don't know, making more money than me. But I mean, you've done it too. I know you've done it too. You've gone to a video and you've realized, like, holy shit, like, okay, you know, you're sitting in your room and you're recording, oh, you're so cool. I mean, what's the difference between my videos and something like, you know, one guy who's just sitting in his room, you know, playing the guitar? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm, you know, the most fucking amazing person to watch on YouTube. Definitely not. Now, at this stage, when you're doing this, you've probably put a lot of work into this thing, and you're wondering how, you know, holy shit, I never imagined it would be this much work to do something like this. You know, a lot of people won't talk about this, but you might have the urge to sync. S-Y-N-C. You might want to sync play. Now, I am not an advocate for this. One, because I don't think I'm good enough to hide that. But for the most part, you really want to, you know, actually record and be true. You know, don't fucking cut corners like I keep saying in all these tutorials. You know, you only cheat yourself. And if somebody catches that, your whole video is fucked. You already have so much to worry about with, like, syncing the video up to the sound and stuff that, I mean, you don't want to worry about if, like, if a slide is wrong, like, that's almost, like, impossible to get perfectly every time. I mean, if, you know, one of your slides is wrong, like, you know, you're playing a note and there's definitely a slide in the sound, people are going to pick up on that. And, you know, people are going to realize that your shit is fake. And you're going to get those, oh, you're fake and a fag and all that shit. And, I mean, you don't want to deal with that. So, you know, right now, be as true as you can, you know, put that extra work into it. I mean, you know, a lot of people, like, who, you know, do kind of like that syncing video thing say it's, oh, but that's so much more work, you know, you make so many mistakes and you have to go back. Well, I mean, if you can play it, you can play it. Just don't cut corners, man. In everything, just do everything the best and you'll have a better result in the end. I will guarantee you that. Alright, so now let's get into some of the peeves of mine. Alright, so there are a few things that kind of piss me off and you might want to think about. Now, the whole kind of, you know, anybody that's trying to get into this usually want to do this with looking the least amount of a douche as possible. There is a good douching and a bad douching, I like to think of it. You know, there's a good douchey, which is like, you know, you're aggressive. You know, you're like, alright, you know, you do what you want and, you know what I mean, you don't care about what anyone says and you have fun and you just, but then there's bad douchey. Bad douchey is the stuff like you can have a really cool looking video, but you could just look like a complete and utter, asshole, and people are gonna leave. I mean, try to stay humble. Don't look like you're full of yourself and like, you think you're the best guitarist in the world. Sometimes I've crossed over into that, and that's not my intention. It's just, when I play guitar, I tend to jump around and have a lot of fun, and sometimes I look like, I'm kind of an asshole and whatever. And I mean, that's not what I'm intending to look like, but whatever. So what constitutes, good douchiness or bad douchiness? Now, good douchiness would be actually like, having fun and blah, 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 and, just fucking having fun with it, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that you'll feel. Like, if you're sitting here and, and you're doing the Angus Young, or you're, Jimi Hendrixing it, or, you're doing something like that, like, that's bad douchey. You're not being yourself, and you're just doing it for other people to, you're doing what you think other people are gonna like. I do these videos as kind of, it's what I would have wanted to watch. Like, if I never made a YouTube channel, like, it's something that I would have wanted to search for and find. Another peeve of mine is like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but there's nothing I hate more than seeing a guitar video of someone with the messiest fucking room. Now, maybe it's just like I have ADD or something, but when I'm watching somebody play a guitar, and, I can't stop looking at, your pink man thong in the back, like, that shouldn't be my fault. You should just pick up your shit. I mean, even if you don't have time, just talk some shit out of you. I mean, it'll look more professional, and it'll look like you care about this video, instead of just like, oh hey, I'm a guitarist, just like everybody else in the fucking world. Yeah, sweet picking. And also, look fresh. Don't look like you just jumped out of a mud puddle or a trash bin. Before I made this video, I took a fucking shower. Yeah, I did. Crazy. Brushed my teeth. And why is that? Why should we care about the appearance? Holy shit, have you ever seen, like, any of those videos where, there's some fat slob playing, guitar, and you're just like, and you're not thinking about the music, you're just thinking about how much of a douche this guy is. I mean, consider your audience when you're recording a video like this. Like, make sure that it's something that you want to watch. And you don't have to be the most attractive person on the planet, but you have to look like you actually care about your appearance a little bit. I mean, to each his own, but come on. And the other thing, this is kind of a, not sure, but don't look into the camera. I mean, you'll notice that in all of my guitar covers, I never once look in the camera. Because it's just weird, and it's awkward, and it's actually kind of, a movie thing that they do, you almost never look into the camera. I mean, unless it's like, fucking Blue's Clues or some shit like that. Like, usually, to keep it professional kind of thing, you want to make it look like, people can fall into the video and pretend like they're there, instead of, I'm looking at a camera and I'm playing guitar. How you doing? How you doing? So, and all these tips kind of go with everything that you're going to be recording. Like, you could be recording piano, or you could be recording, leads and stuff. I mean, usually, like, don't kind of just steal what I'm doing. I mean, don't just assume, like, this is the way to do it. I mean, I'm pretty much always improvising. Like, I'm always coming up with new shit to do, and, you have to really think about, like, how you want to set up your videos. Like, maybe, like, I like to do all of my rhythm guitar standing up, same thing with all my basses, and then I like to have the camera close for my leads, for all of the, melody and harmonies. I mean, maybe, you want to do it differently, and you want to, just like, have like your hair blowing and like, I mean, that's fine with you. I mean, if that's what you want to look like, go for it, man. But you should really take into account, whether or not, you want to look like a complete and utter, like, boring asshole and nobody's going to watch your videos, or look like a little bit of a douche and people are going to be entertained. You're not going to get everyone's approval, especially on YouTube. I've gotten tons of hate, comments and hate mail. That's something you gotta get used to. So that's one thing you gotta be aware of when you're doing these kind of videos. Like, you're gonna probably get hate mail. That's kind of inevitable. But, you have to look past it and just keep going and, do your thing. Don't do anybody else's thing, do your thing. I mean, I know I was influenced by guitarists on YouTube like CS Guitar 89 and, Artificial Fear and all those guys, but the way I go about doing this is different from theirs. So when you're making your covers, you know, don't try to be Family Jewels 7X, don't try to be CS Guitar 89, try to be you. This is so fucking inspirational. So now I'm gonna record this bitch. You guys have probably already heard this recording since I'm recording this before I'm doing my mixing tutorials. So I hope it sounded good, like probably like 4 weeks ago. Yeah, you see I'm wearing my Tetris shirt, you know. I know I've worn this in another video and I'm kind of done with the whole, oh, new video, new fucking shirt thing, because, you know, I'm kind of running out of shirts. There's like, what, like 80 videos now, 80 something? So I'm gonna record this shit now, and I guess I'll see you guys next week when we edit this bitch.